What is going on everyone, Nostalgia 925 coming at you with another Digimon comparison video, and this one is going to be very interesting. As most of you would know by now, I have made the Digimon vs Pokemon war declaration, and for now it has been so interesting because the comments were extremely insightful. For this video, I kind of wanted to take Digimon to yet again another world and make some comparisons. I promise it is going to be very cool because you will learn more about the other franchise. For this video, we are going to have a duo battle. I hope some of you remember the franchise Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, in this video we're going to make teams of two and compare the different groups. Wizardmon and Witchmon are going to combine forces and be compared to the Dark Magician and the Dark Magician girl to see if the Digimon Wizards will stand a chance. Now, I must say that once I posted the thumbnail of this video in the Nostalgia 925 community page, I did receive plenty of comments. Some were huge, and that you will see in this video. Some others were a bit shorter, but things were pretty mixed up, so I went through it. I gave it some order in all the chaos, and now we can use them to read what you guys have to say about this battle. Let me first start by giving you the names of those that were clearly on the Dark Magician and the Dark Magician girl's side. Marine Solar, that by the way gave us a very interesting comment, Majestic Butter, Elvin Wolf 2, Andreas Marrero, Valkyra Sonara, and the Shadow in the Mask that also gave an interesting comment. In fact, all of them gave very interesting comments, which we will explore after we've went through the biography of the Dark Magician and the Dark Magician girl. Now, let me take you back to the period before Christ. Let me take you back to the period of suns and pyramids. Let me take you back to ancient Egypt, birthplace of the heir of the Egyptian throne, Atem. You would high probably know him as Yugi, but in this video we are going to address His Majesty via his real name. Atem was the only son of Aknam Kanon, the pharaoh and first owner of the Millennium Puzzle, a Millennium item that has incredible powers. Aknam Kanon, despite a character with a very interesting story, died of illness, and Atem, as the heir, became the next pharaoh. The day he became a pharaoh, he was attacked by a thief, but fortunately enough, he was saved by Mahad, one of the 6 priests who served under the pharaoh. Mahad is an extremely interesting character in the sense that he was very kind and compassionate with a deep sense of loyalty. He was not just one of the pharaoh's priests, he was also his childhood friend and an instructor in the magical arts. One of his notable students was Mana, yet another childhood friend of Atem, a light-hearted, open and playful girl that shares a deep bond between her master and the pharaoh. She did frustrate her master at times, as she was a certain source for frustration. In the eyes of Mahad, she was quite reluctant to take her teaching seriously. Now at some point, the pharaoh was awoken by a nightmare of his childhood friend Mahad dying in battle at the hands of Bakura, also known as the King of Thieves. Now I can imagine that some of you that would hear the concept thief, you might get somewhat triggered, but you have to know that Bakura did not have the easiest of lives. I really want to dedicate an entire video about it, but let me tell you that Atem's father, Pharaoh Aknam Kanon, ordered the massacre of 99 humans in a village called Kul Elna. In that massacre, Bakura had to watch in horror how his family and friends were killed and their bodily components used to create the 7 Millennium items, like the one item Atem is actually wearing. And Bakura was left as the only survivor of that massacre. So Pharaoh Atem woke up from that nightmare and asked Mana to come along with him to Mahad's stone tablet. And when looking at that tablet, they realized that the dream was indeed true. Atem's childhood friend Mahad was in battle with Bakura. And so the Pharaoh and Mana rushed to the spellcaster's training grounds, only to see the Pharaoh's troopers being attacked by Bakura's followers. The Pharaoh fought and knocked some of them. Luckily, the Pharaoh got Mana to send for backup. And once that backup arrived, they were too late, unfortunately. Mahad's Millennium Ring, an object of mythical powers, was in Bakura's hands. In an attempt to defeat Thief King Bakura, Mahad sacrificed his life and fused his Ba, which is the equivalent of a person's soul or life force. He fused his Ba with his Ka, which are those monsters that were used in ancient Egypt. They are the spirits that reflect the nature of the person that they come from, and with the Millennium items, one could seal the Ka of a person with a stone tablet and would be capable of summoning and controlling them. So in short, by fusing the Ba and the Ka, Mahad became the Dark Magician. And after Mahad's death, Mana swore to do everything she could to become a great magician. And eventually, she was able to summon her own Ka, the Dark Magician girl. That about sums it up for the story of both of them, even though I must say that it goes a bit further. We were lucky to have a clear-cut story about the Dark Magician and the Dark Magician girl. Unfortunately, Wizardmon and Witchmon are kind of left behind theories, most of which you can find in the Explaining Witchly video. I really recommend the video to all of you, especially to those that do not know much about Digimon. I talked for almost an hour about that place where lies the origins of both Wizardmon and Witchmon. But I warn you, it is a video of 45 minutes. It's quite long. You can find that video in the description box. Now, before we discuss Witchmon and Wizardmon, let me first mention the names who were in favor of Wizardmon and Witchmon in this battle. Mary Grace Oyangorin, Iheb Nerd, Tim Stud, those were about it. Clearly those in favor of Witchmon and Wizardmon were less in numbers than those in favor for the Dark Magician and the Dark Magician girl. And on top of that, those representing the side of Digimon were not even that sure of their answer. But in brief, the history of Wizardmon and Witchmon. Wizardmon is an advanced Digimon that came from the Digimon alternate universe called Witchly, an alternate universe and home to practitioners of sorcery. In that universe, it is said that there is a school of wizards, a place where presumably those young wizards are educated and trained to become more prominent in the use of witchcraft and wizardry. The school helped Wizardmon to master the sorcery, or otherwise called Advanced Programming Language of Fire and Earth. And Wizardmon has been seen using those elements at a very impressive level, without forgetting that it has displayed other skills both in offense and defense. It aims to become a great wizard and appeared in the Digimon world in order to train and get much better. And I would say the Digimon world would be the best place to use your skills, any skills I would say, as life is easily lost when one is careless. Witchmon came along from Witchly in a very discreet way, I have to say, but it was in pursuit of its rival Wizardmon. Witchmon mastered the sorcery of wind and water instead of the earth and fire that Wizardmon learned to control. In order to gain an advantage on Wizardmon, it followed and diligently trains in the digital world, and this little piece of information will be extremely important for the outcome of this battle. Now let us check what the comments may tell about this battle. I will first reply to those comments that are bringing extra unnecessary dimension to this battle, and afterwards we will come to our conclusion. The Shadow in the Mask said the following: "After reading a bit of lore and comments, it's looking worse for my boy Wizmon, but I'm unfazed. All magic in one book versus Master of Dark Magic, if its pure magical potential objectively would have to go to the one with the book." Ah yes, the Shadow in the Mask is talking about the sacred holy book of ancient Wizemon. To those that don't know much about Digimon, there is an ancient mutant Digimon called Ancient Wizemon, one of the 10 legendary warriors that saved the ancient digital world from a certain war. It had in its possession the Akashic records, which records all of the excellent intellects of ancient times. Because of it, it is said that there is nothing the Digimon does not know. And according to some theories, which I explained in the Explaining Witchly video, it is Wizardmon that is in possession of this extremely powerful record. It is a very interesting artifact, but to keep this battle fair, we will not allow it to be used. On top of that, yes, it might be that everything is written in that book, but we cannot forget that we're talking about two different franchises. The book is not necessarily going to give Wizardmon an edge over the Dark Magician duo. Unreal Engine wrote the following: "Dark Magician is confusing to compare with Digimon because what you allow is debatable, unlike in Digimon. Dark Magician have variants like Dark Magician of Chaos, Ebon Illusion Magician, and we were given a huge list of the different forms. Ebon High Magician, Legendary Magician of Dark, and so on and so on." Thank you for your work, by the way. Yes, indeed, the Dark Magician has many forms, but we are going to remain with the most known Dark Magician, the one who is known as the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense. And same goes with the Dark Magician girl. We are not going to look too far to get confused eventually. And when it comes to Wizardmon or Witchmon, there is going to be no Digivolution and no extra books. Just these four with their own skills that they have been able to develop through their experiences. Andreas Marrero said the following: "If the manga is anything to go by, Dark Magician and his apprentice hands down. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is literally hex central when you can throw around reality warping powers, destroy galaxies, merge universes, rewrite the laws of the universe, and so on, as if they are just cards you can buy at your local retailer. Dark Magician's warp spell literally rearranged the globe for his and Atem's convenience. I'm pretty sure that is high tier mega level stuff. Well, then again, at the moment you have dinosaurs that can enter planet Earth to destroy your neighborhood, that is actually also high tier mega level stuff. And don't even let me start about those what if scenarios. What if a Digimon like Millenniummon were to enter the Earth? A Digimon that can play with time and create pocket dimensions. I think that Digimon would be way worse than the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise, as a Digimon is not really trapped in a card. And you can't forget, Joy was blasted by the Winged Dragon of Ra, perhaps the strongest card in the entire Digimon franchise, and Joey survived quite well, whereas in Digimon Season 1 Episode 1, Kuwagamon alone was about to exterminate those Digidestined if it were not for a certain plot twist, I would say, or I guess attempts of the Digimon developers to make the Digimon franchise a bit kid-friendly, maybe? Mary Grace of Angorin said the following: "But for me, those dark magicians are just holograms, and Digimon could go out of the digital world, so Digimon like Wizardmon and Witchmon can use 1 to 2 elements, just like you said in the original video." An extremely interesting comment, Mary. And it does indeed make sense, because when you look at the anime and see the Dark Magician in those Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels, the monster is indeed a hologram, even if they seem to be able to put the players in a certain kind of stress. However, when we go back to that period before Christ, those Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters were closer to reality. Back in that period, it was more a question of life or death, on the contrary to the present timeline. Clearly, Yu-Gi-Oh! Could have been a much more scarier anime, but was kind of reduced to being a kid-friendly anime. So what we will do in this video is try to figure out how a Wizardmon and a Witchmon card would look like in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. That way, it will be much easier for all of us to compare, and I think I have the perfect comment to guide us through. It is the one of Marine Solar that said the following: "So now you even start comparing Digimon to Yu-Gi-Oh! I like it. But I don't know much about Wizardmon and Witchmon, sorry. In the anime, Wizardmon was kinda a hero and a very good friend of Gatomon, but compared to the Dark Magician, well, I think I like him better. Wizardmon would have 1500 attack and 1700 defense if he were in Yu-Gi-Oh!, but he wouldn't stand a chance against Dark Magician with 2500 attack. In terms of popularity, the Dark Magicians would also win. The Dark Magician is the Agumon mascot of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Wizardmon only a nice side character. Wizardmon deserves more, but a lot of the Digimon should also get more attention. I hope this helps you find a direction to work on. J'attends avec impatience ta vidéo. Ah, un grand merci Marine pour ton joli commentaire. C'est même ce même commentaire qui va nous guider vers la fin de cette vidéo. To tell you the truth, I don't think Wizardmon and Witchmon could come out victorious in this battle, even if it would seem that they have more skills in their arsenal. When you take into account the history of the Dark Magician, that history which explained that he was a priest and a teacher, it is not for nothing that on his card it is written that he is the ultimate wizard. Because you need to have a certain expertise before you try and teach others. And it does not matter how big of a skill set you may have. The truth is, all it takes is to have one ability, just one. If you are able to work on that, if you are able to study and know all strengths and weaknesses of that one ability you have, and you use that one ability to its maximum potential, obviously you will have more chances to defeat others that have a huge skill set but aren't at all masters of those powers. The fact that Wizardmon and Witchmon traveled to the digital world in order to become stronger only shows that they are still training. Of course, you cannot underestimate them either. In order to survive in the Digimon world, you need to be able to protect yourself, and I'm sure that both of them have the necessary skills and instincts to survive, but I don't think that they have the wisdom and the experience to confront someone as powerful as a Dark Magician. Now, Marine Solar wrote that Wizardmon should come to attack 1500 and defense 1700. I'm sure that it is well thought, but I think that both Wizardmon and Witchmon should come more or less at the same level as the Dark Magician girl. I say so because when you consider the background story, the Dark Magician girl was from time to time reluctant in her training. Once her teacher died, that is when she took her training more serious. But you need to ask yourself the following question: how much stronger would she be if her teacher was still around to train her? That same teacher that had all the knowledge, how much stronger would she be? And the fact that she is a level 6 card only shows that she was not able to catch up to her teacher's strength. You can count the levels of the card by counting the yellow to orange circles underneath the name of the card. The Dark Magician is a level 7 card. In attack and defense, he surpasses by far the Dark Magician girl, who as far as I know is not so far away as to being an apprentice. I would put Wizardmon and Witchmon at the same level as the Dark Magician girl, meaning at level 6. Which card would be stronger between the three is really debatable, especially if you consider the Digimon universe standards, which implies that if you can cheat to survive, you can do so. In that case, I would actually say that Witchmon would have an edge considering that it despises customs and rules. Now, some of you might come with the argument that teamwork will play an immense role in this battle, and still I don't see a positive outcome for Wizardmon and Witchmon even if they are rivals. You see, in the anime world, there have been more than enough teams of rivals that were able to do great. And even if Wizardmon and Witchmon were able to have the greatest of team spirits, the Dark Magician and the Dark Magician girl are, for starters, friends, or at least have that teacher-student bond. They know more or less how the both of them fight, and the Dark Magician is basically Gandalf from the Lord of the Rings. Now, of course, things would probably be extremely different if Wizardmon had that Akashic records, but that one is excluded. So my conclusion, the winner would high probably be the Dark Magician and the Dark Magician girl. Gohan Super Saiyan Z wrote the following: "Now, only Bakugan vs Digimon is left, I guess. Hey, don't tempt me, alright? I even wanted to compare Bancho Leomon to Shanks of the One Piece universe, and I'm this close of expanding this whole Digimon comparison series, so don't tempt me, I would say." Don't worry, Gohanu, very nice comment, and I will certainly take that into account. Hey guys, this is the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out the original video to understand Wizardmon a bit more. I know it's a long video, but still. And please guys, don't forget to like this video. At least with those likes and your comments, I can tell that my videos are really appreciated. After all, I am trying to mix all of this with my studies. The time I'm spending making those videos for you guys, I should actually go and study. But I guess I wanted to be there for you and sort of split my time. So please, for the sake of Digimon and for now Yu-Gi-Oh!, don't forget to like and drop a comment, and of course subscribe. And if you are new, you have to know that all my videos are in well-defined playlists which are always updated. That way you can all easily catch up on the newest and the oldest videos.